Good morning, a bright good morning to you from the JN Sports Complex here in New Delhi. And we're looking ahead this morning on Green 2 and Rink 7 to a men's pairs clash between South Africa and Australia, who are currently both fighting it out for the top place in the men's pairs of the Section A part of the tournament. We're well down the road now in the pairs and triples, and the pairs will be completed today. Currently, Australia doing very well indeed. Temperature this morning, 25 degrees Celsius. Humidity pretty high, 92%. Well, wind speed low. There's just a slight flutter of the flags which surround the rink here. But it's a very calm, tranquil morning. The players just doing their last follow-up. South Africa and Australia, two teams that can be expected to do extremely well in this tournament, and it is quite a clash we've got to look forward to this morning. A bit later, women's pairs, Group A, Cook Islands against Australia. Australia again represented in the men's singles beginning today, and right at the end of the day, Scotland versus Canada. The men's singles in Group A. So an awful lot to look forward to from New Delhi in the lawn bowls tournament with South Africa and Australia. Lawn bowls has earned South Africa more modern era Commonwealth Games medals than any other sport. And Australia too, no strangers to the Commonwealth Games podium, and their lawn bowlers have won 9 golds, 15 silvers and 6 bronze medals since 1930. So two powerful lineups here. We've seen them already during the last few days, the two pairs, and they're just continuing to warm up. That's Jerry Baker, the skip for South Africa, and the lead man is Sean Adenall. We saw them beat Northern Ireland a couple of days ago. And now for Australia, this is Aaron Sheriff, who is the skip, and the lead for Australia is Mark Burkhofer. And we were seeing them beating Botswana a couple of days ago. Currently in the table, Australia have played 9 and they have won all 9. They are unbeaten in the men's pairs. South Africa have played 9, they have won 8, just losing the one match so far, and that was a surprising defeat at the hands of the Cook Islands. But they are the top 2 in the table at the moment, closely followed by Scotland, who are in 3rd place, Canada in 4th, then Northern Ireland, down to Papua New Guinea, and those that are really struggling, the likes of Botswana, Swaziland and Niue Island. Soon we'll be hearing a siren, and that will signal the start of play. I am joined this morning by my co-commentator, Mike Rabbit. How are you this morning, Mike?
Not too bad, Simon. Lovely to be with you once again, and this could almost be the gold medal clash. As you mentioned, Section A, South Africa and Australia have gone hammer and tongs at this competition. Australia, as you mentioned, undefeated with 9 wins, no losses. They've got a massive shot differential of plus 154. They're on the maximum 18 points. You mentioned the Cook Islands, South Africa losing to the Cook Islands yesterday. Australia were lucky to get out of jail against the Cook Islands as well, only winning in the tie break. Mark Burkhofer on shot is almost about ready to get us underway. So we're about to get underway, and as I mentioned, Australia lucky to get out of jail against the Cook Islands last night. They won the first set 20 shots to 0, then lost the next one 11-5 and won the tie break 6-1. Also, they defeated Kenya yesterday fairly easily, and South Africa defeated Norfolk Island fairly easily. So this game could actually decide who will go directly through the semi-finals. Both these teams have another match at 12:30 today. South Africa play Niue Island, who are last in the competition, so you should think a fairly comfortable victory there. However, Australia play Scotland, who are in 3rd position. So 2 massive games for the boys from down under.
And so we're underway, and this is the lead-off man for South Africa, Sean Adenall. And once again, we will notice here a range of bowling styles. Sean Adenauds tends to take a big step forward, gets well down the rink. Mark Berghofer with a pendulum movement of the arm before finally releasing the bowl, making his Commonwealth Games debut. And 2 nice bowls from Mark.
I think we'll see this particular clash bring the very best of the bowlers. They'll want to be able to create a psychological advantage. Both these teams will go through to the playoff rounds, and if they happen to meet again, they'll want to be on the top of their game and gain a little bit of a psychological advantage here. And both leads have started pretty well.
Well, that did better than it looked like doing for a while. It was always going to be short. I wonder if the greens are going to play quite fast this morning. I can't believe how that kept going, actually. It was just...
They have quickened up as the competition's gone on. They're running about 12 to 13 seconds. That's a very, very nice bowl by Sean Adenauds. So the leads have started very, very well here, and that'll give them a great deal of confidence because their role is very important.
So Aaron Sheriff is the skip for Australia here, and he was very impressive when we watched the game between the Aussies and Botswana. That's a good bowl. And for South Africa here is Jerry Baker. Jerry is a financial director in Johannesburg.
Aaron Sheriff just a little bit wider with his second. There is a cluster of bowls there. Jerry Baker just trying to draw the shot and not too far away. Probably Aaron Sheriff, their blue bowl, may just be shot.
We're down.
No, there is the signal from Mark Berghofer saying 1 down.
It's not the first time we've been deceived, is it, by distances between bowls and jack? It's a bit deceptive sometimes. Should we make a policy today of no rash predictions on shots?
I've given up. At some stage through the course of the match, we'll be able to put a target over where the jack sits, and we'll give you a great perspective of how the shots lie. But this is the end of... we're going to go for a measure. Mark Berghofer doing the duties here for Australia. Yep.
And a marker this morning is Sonu Nagarajan, who signals 1 to South Africa.
So good morning for lawn bowls, and these two teams will back up straight away. They will go from this particular game to their 12:30 match, and that'll be the end of the sectional play. and they'll just have to wait a little while to find out. What they actually do is the top 2 teams in both sections will go automatically through to the semi-finals. The second and third team in each section will go into a draw. Now, all the names are put into a hat and are drawn out to see who plays who. Yeah, beautiful bowl by Mark Berghofer, right on the money.
Sean Adnall is 41, works as a training manager in the Cape Town area.
I'm impressed with the way the leads have started.
Hurry. Well done, mate. Good shots. That's all.
You can probably hear some jackhammers in the background. Some work being done on the entrance to the main stadium. It may be completed by the closing ceremony. Who knows?
Come on, Sean. Bastard, Sean. Yeah, well played, mate. What a good shot. Here's there, mate.
Here it is again, having a look at it. Mark Berghofer taking that bowl back and now sits 2. It's going to have to run on a little bit. He might be able to promote one of his own. He has. It'll get into the mix. Not the shot that he wanted to play, Mark Berghofer, but it'll help.
Half wits in the count.
Now, he might just do the same thing for Mark Berghofer's second bowl, so you have a look at that now and you think Mark Berghofer's driven the lights out of this jack, but both those blue bowls have been promoted. Here it is again. That's the bowl coming up, and South Africa just still holding his shot there, and he's not happy, the big fella.
They're quite a formidable pairing, Sean Adnall and Jerry Baker, bronze medalists at the Manchester Commonwealth Games in 2002. So Australians won't have it all their own way. Aaron Sheriff playing with pace there, misses the lot of them.
Interesting tactic there from Aaron, who's a very good draw shot bowler. Just trying to take that bowl into the ditch. Australia have the best backwood, but it's not by much. Jerry Baker's been around a while. Played in the 1998 Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur.
Good, Jerry.
And from the match we saw the other day is a very fine lawn bowler. Just coming up a little bit short.
Come on, mate.
Yes, he was a bronze medalist in Kuala Lumpur in the men's singles.
Sorry?
He's got a couple of bronze medals.
Close for the second one. I don't think so.
It's his 4th Commonwealth Games, in fact.
Pretty good. We'll be getting the inside half for ours and might be getting to the jab. Yes.
Aaron Sheriff from the Halakalani Bowling Club on the Central Coast, just north of Sydney. And he's missed again, I think.
That's good.
Half a metre on your last.
Jerry Baker now trying to make it 2. It's got to work for him.
Well done, my boy.
Yeah, he probably would have liked that to have just come in behind the jack to provide a little bit of cover there.
I think it's 2, but I think it's still down there, mate.
Here it is. Now you can hear Mark Berghofer as we see Jerry Baker dancing up the green. Now Aaron Sheriff is either trying to take the jack or take the black bowl. And he's taken the black bowl beautifully, but South Africa probably still holds shot.
Yeah, just clips that black bowl there. Sean Adenall's earlier delivery. That's Jerry Baker's on the right, the mauve bowl. The light blue bowl, Mark Berghofer.
There it is. Yeah, not much in it, but you would think South Africa are on that shot. Probably just holding shot. Might be another measure.
Jerry Baker, the last bowl of the end.
Looking
to make certain of it. Little check would help. Runs through.
Well, he ran the danger there of turning that over to the Australians, but it could be enough. I think he would have had his heart in his mouth there for a moment. It was only going to hit the right-hand side of the jack as you look at it there.
1.
Yeah, 1 to South Africa.
1 back. 1 red.
Confirmation. And so it's 2-0.
Good solid start from South Africa. Hasn't been spectacular bowling by any stretch of the imagination from the skips. I think the leads have done their job very well so far. And South Africa have just been slightly the more steady of the two combinations. Very important match.
Sorry, Mark, off flag.
Big step forward from Sean Adenall.
Well done.
There's Paddlers as his nickname, Rex Johnston, who's the Australian coach, former great player. Lives now in Tuncurry, which is on the mid-north coast, beautiful part of the world, near Foster. And Teens Fraser from Florida Bowling Club in Johannesburg.
He's a former Springbok.
Have a look. Well, you have a look here, mate. See
We've
what's
spoken
like.
about the rivalry
Jack, you beat them, it's good.
between Australia and New Zealand. It's equally intense between Australia and South Africa too, and of course the Rugby World Cup's coming up in New Zealand next year, and they'll be looking forward to that.
Follow them up. Like that.
Yeah, both countries have strong traditions in many sports.
Well played, mate.
Yeah, good bowl from Mark Berghofer.
Stop the Isaac close. Oh! Now what ball?
Yeah, a little bit of a loose bowl that time from Sean Adenall. The two leads have finished theirs, and as you can see there is acres of room to be able to come through there.
Sheriff has made 57 appearances for Australia. Halle Kulani in New South Wales.
One of them, give it to your choice. Like this ball, real tough, good.
Well done, Aaron.
It's just come up a little short.
Aaron just not getting on the pace at the moment. Taking a little while to work into this match. Jerry Baker's started a little bit better. Having a good look at the head.
Look at it, got a piece of that on the inside. Couple of viewers. Set the ball off. One in a measure. Could be 3. Could be 2.
Well, that's short too. It looks as though no one wants to win this end.
Up to you. You're big.
Yeah, I think Aaron, because he's got his bowl at the head, he can play onto that and try and promote that bowl. That's the blue bowl near the jack, or just try and dead draw the shot. Yeah, that's okay for 2, but there is a little bit of a target area there, a bit of a gap. That black bowl that you can see in the bottom of your screen is South African. So if Jerry can get onto that, he might be able to trail that back for a couple.
Oh, it just helps the Aussies there.
Unlucky.
Yeah, well, they'd be holding 3 there at that particular stage and having a look at Jerry, and the last thing he wanted to do was turn Aaron Sheriff's bowl over, and it promoted the jack just slightly. Didn't seem to move a great deal, but would have pushed it over enough to give Australia at least the second shot.
That's all. What out here? Oh, mate. Anywhere around this bowl's good. That's second.
And it really does help our cause when the players are so audible. Just ran out of legs. It was tracking really nicely for Aaron Sheriff. So all of a sudden, Jerry Baker, a little bit of work to do, Simon.
Yeah, it looks like certainly 2 for Australia.
Well, the difficulty he's got here, as you look at that shot there, if he comes the backhand side for the left-hander, he hasn't got any cover. So you would say Australia at least 3, standing at this stage. Yeah, 3. I think that the top light blue bowl might be just out of the equation, but the bottom blue bowl might be in. So Jerry, if he goes to backhand, hasn't got any cover. If he comes to forehand, he really would find it very, very difficult to get through that region. He's got to try and just knock Aaron Sheriff's bowl out and hold the shot. And he might just get through there. Well, he's cut the damage down, no doubt about that, but that still may be 2 to Australia. He's going to go for a measure on the second. No, he's given the 2. Now they're going to have a measure on Aaron Sheriff's third bowl.
Just the 2. So that levels the scores. Australia winning the third end, 2-all. I love these mornings in New Delhi, Mike, just before the real heat of the day kicks in. It's really worth getting up in the morning, isn't it, out here? And we're certainly doing that.
And I think our camera crew enjoy the morning more so than the 12:30 to 4 o'clock shifts. That gets very, very steamy, and it was extremely steamy and close last night in that session. You had the outside area were bombarded with all sorts of wildlife and insects.
I don't know why, but they certainly came out to play last night. We were just talking to the England player Stuart Airy, who was playing on rink 1 against India, a game which England won. and he was having real trouble with the moths and various insects, some hard-backed insects getting onto the rink. And of course, one of those would certainly deflect the tracking of a bowl, and he was constantly having to wave insects away and brush them off the bowl itself, and it certainly wouldn't be conditions that he'd be used to back home in Cumbria.
Very true. Melbourne Commonwealth Games, they got attacked by the African black beetle. Here it's all sorts of insects.
What about him?
Meanwhile, Sean Adenall,
Hey, close here, mate.
his second bowl here.
Weight's good,
And it's a
mate.
pretty good one. This comes up a little bit short.
Ali, hit the ball. Great play.
Mark Berghofer took part in the Eight Nation Test event
And another good yard.
here earlier in the
Swing your
year.
bowl, pull the jacks good.
It's a good bowl. It could just take the jack forward.
I think it's still there, mate, under that. Yeah, your weight's good.
Just had plenty of pace on here. Picks the jack up. Does just take the jack further away, though, from the other two South African bowls.
Oh.
This looks a pretty good line here. Just edging across. That's pretty close, though. Excellent effort by Berghofer. So it's now the turn of the skips. Jerry Baker
Who knows?
plays to a golf handicap of 10 in his spare time, which is respectable.
Come on. Come through. Right, it's third shot.
Hey, good.
So Aaron Sheriff now with both South Africa and Australia close to the jack. Useful little wick there.
Meter on your last will be good, Jerry.
He's only stalling. Make up Mr. Jack.
He may just be looking to make some contact with Berghofer's bowl or a knock-on of his own.
Weight's good.
I think Aaron will just be trying to draw onto that the jack, maybe even try and kick that black bowl out behind the blue bowl. He's just come to the back. That's probably not a bad bowl because that is the best back wood. So if he has a little bit of a drive at it later on, and he has one bowl
First and
remaining to spring the jack, that might come into
I
play.
think there's a shot in there. Sit that bowl, it's good. Splits is good.
Well, I think Sean Adenall was saying just come in there. But when Jerry released that, it looks as though he was going to get back to the back to match Aaron Sheriff's. So I think you'll find that this is going to be with a little bit more pace than his previous bowl. But he needs to disturb this head. And it's going to be short. He's going to have to get a wick off something to create something. He's nearly tipped it over.
One down.
I think you'll find that'll be one to South Africa.
Yeah, that black bowl there was just closer than Berghofer's light blue. The ball just above the jack. And that means it's 1 shot to South Africa, and they take a narrow lead. Lots of games taking place this morning across the 2 or 3 greens here. 3 competitive greens. There's another green round the back, which is a practice facility.
Yeah, Mark Berghofer just gets the bowl in motion before release, just to steady himself. And as Simon said before, there are so many different individual styles here, but again we reiterate it's what works for you. There is a traditional way, but which varies from hemisphere to hemisphere, but it's what works for you. And you'll watch Sean Adendall here. It's a really big step out in front. For a big man, that's got to be a little bit taxing at the end of the day.
Good weight, huh?
He's been pretty impressive so far this morning, Mark Berghofer. That's a beautiful bowl.
Come on. Come on. Ellie, work.
Go under it, mate. Go again, buddy.
See if he can pop another one close. Just pulling up a little.
That's the perfect guy. Come.
Yeah, he just came up a little bit short there.
Oh, that's the track for you. Let's have a look at the weight. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
It just held its line nicely there. Just mightn't have the pace to get up, but again, he was on line, Sean Adendall.
Oh.
Come on now.
Go, 2.
Probably weight, Omar.
No change.
Careful, bagels done.
Yeah, Aaron is just not quite on the pace at the moment.
Play it through if you like. Very dry. Dry.
Little knock on there.
Just sliding through Jerry Baker.
Work. Well done, Michelle.
One down.
This could be a good long. Oh, it's just falling away now. Seem to dive off there.
The advantage here for Jerry Baker is that he will have last bowl. Depending on where this one finishes, and it doesn't look to be too far away, it's going to die. Aaron Shearer is probably going to be trying to shift that black bowl if he can do, or shift that. Well, he's been asked to draw inside that blue bowl for definite shot. Needs to work now.
Turn.
That's it. Well done.
Well, he gave Mark Berghofer's light blue bowl a roll there.
Yeah, just rolled over a tad. I still not going to call that, Simon, but Jerry Baker in pensive mood now, just having a look. That's what he's got. Yeah, gee, it's tight. Maybe that bottom blue bowl at 6 o'clock is the shot bowl of Mark Berghofer. But there's still plenty of room there for Jerry. And I think Jerry Baker was having a look to see whether there is a possibility of just getting more than one. Now he needs to hit that hard, promote that, or turn that one over, and that will be shot bowl.
One down. One red.
That seemed to settle it there. We saw from our target before that it was pretty close, and possibly Australia who had the shot, but that last roll from Jerry Baker turned it around. 4-2.
A very tight contest here in the men's pairs. South Africa have won 4 of the 5 ends, but they only lead by 2. And that 2 came to Australia, and that's been the only multiple score on any end. So it's been a war of attrition so far. Some very good bowls and a little bit of some loose play as well. I don't think we've seen one head that has been really jam-packed where the skips have got to do something exceptional to get out of strife.
Great bowl from Berghofer. And playing very consistently.
Come on, great ball. Come on, you get him again.
Yeah, that's short from Sean Adenall. A long way short.
Good play, isn't it?
Yeah, Mark Berghofer is doing everything right for his skip at the moment. He's consistently jack high or just past is exactly what his skip would like. And very, very good adjustment, even though he's given the shot away from Sean Adenall. Now, the jack at the moment is only 2 metres from the ditch. At the T-junction. Oh, again, a beautiful bowl, just past the jack. Perfect position for the Australian lead.
Yes, there to catch the jack. Sean Adenall finding himself under a bit of pressure here. So it's just going to roll past the jack. There's very good bowl again.
Yeah, the man from Durbanville certainly has responded after that Joe Cocker of a first bowl.
Durbanville, just outside Cape Town, home of Cape Town's second racecourse.
Now, Aaron Sheriff's indicated straight away he's playing with a little bit of on weight. He wants to take that jack into the ditch. He's hit it, and I don't know whether he might have turned over shot. Now, that'll be a toucher in the ditch. Here it is. He just didn't hit it flush. He was hoping to hit it flush, and take it into the ditch, but he indicated very early. Now, that other jack you can see another bowl is from the other rink.
This isn't far away. Oh, it's just ducked down the low side. Stayed on though. But
it's an excellent bowl in some respects, because that bowl that you're seeing just below the Jerry Baker bowl is live, and he's now got the next best backwood on the green. So if the jack happens to go into the ditch, he's got some cover. Now that bowl that you can see closest to the centre of the screen is the bowl from this rink.
At least a couple seconds. That's our toucher. Push it in. Couple yards. What's that? Yeah. See if it's just in front of you, a couple.
2 feet.
Give it a shot.
Just ran out a bit of steam from Aaron Sheriff.
Jerry Baker will have the last bowl here. In a few moments' time, that could be useful. Played this with some pace.
Yeah, what he was trying to do there was take that blue bowl of Mark Berghofer out of play. Aaron Sheriff not wasting any time on the mat straight away. And he just needs to correct his weight here, marginally. Oh, he needed another foot and a half.
Frustrating.
He's played it with on weight again. He's going to miss.
So Berghofer's light blue bowl is the counter there. And that's 1 to Australia. And that's 4-3.
The kites are circling here at the JN Sports Complex. 4-3 to South Africa in the first set.
I seem to see them flying above the rinks in the morning. Looking for a bit of breaker, perhaps. And occasionally one just swoops down very low. We've had one or two really swooping across the carpet. They're quite bold.
Yeah, well done.
Look good, Keith. Come on. Ali.
Yeah, he's just shifting.
Great ball.
Just small little steps so far. Only Australia have scored more than one shot in an end.
Right shot, Casper.
That's another solid bowl from Mark Berghofer.
That ball shot is half ball in front of the jack. You can push yours 2 feet.
Adnall trying to respond to Mark Berghofer's good play, and he's not too far away.
Under him.
Come on.
Casper, as you heard Aaron Sheriff nickname him.
What's the radio? That's good.
Be the right club, Casper.
He might promote this Sean Adnall bowl. He has.
Lock it in there.
just get a knock off
finish good,
his
well
own
done.
bowl? Well, he did, but had a bit of pace on it. Not enough to take all the pace off that bowl. Lots of little mannerisms these bowlers have, particularly after they've delivered. This is coming round nicely. Just pulling up foot and a half, 2 feet short.
Yeah, just give him a wrap and then he pulls up a couple short. So, but he's been outstanding so far in the match. And Sean Addinall, every bit of pressure that has been applied to him, he's responded to. That previous end, he bowled his first bowl was way short, and then he put 2 right on the money. So good battle with the leads, and they have their own little private battle in the match as well. It's coming down to the skips now.
Oh, it's an excellent bowl from Jerry Baker. Right on the jack. This is just going to come right up and lean on the jack.
Yeah, just beautiful. Aaron Sheriff not wasting any time. He did balk there just for a moment because one of the kites swooped down and wanted to pick up a little bit of sustenance.
That bending, mate.
And he would have loved that to have travelled another foot and a half just to be behind the jack. Would have given him a chance to be able to take that Jerry Baker bowl out.
If you put another one here. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Here's the mark.
Wait, the first line, was it good? Yeah. I'm turning it over.
I'm assuming that Jerry Baker and Sean Addinall thought that Aaron Sheriff may have a drive at this, and they have the only backwoods.
Stingy, you've got to give it a chance on your forehand, mate. Any contact's good.
Any contact is good.
It's got to hold its line, but I think it's going to hold its line. It has, but that was the danger. The jack could only be sprung to that position.
Definitely 2.
Now it puts South Africa in the box seat.
Very good here now.
They've got, well, you would think, 2.
And Australia have got nothing further back.
It's a bit messy there, I think.
All the Australian bowls are now in front of the jack.
I'll get in there and stop. Good as well.
Okay.
Now, just in front of Sean Addinall's right foot is the marker. If the jack happens to go into the ditch at any stage or out of bounds, it will come back to a mark, which wouldn't aid the Australians' cause whatsoever. It's just to the left of that bowl on the outside.
Looking to draw another. He can get through. A nice little wick there off the Australian bowl. And now Aaron Sheriff having a flash at it.
Well, he's at least 2.
At least 2, could be 3. And it is 3. Strong end for South Africa there.
Aaron Sheriff not being able to get on the money, and Australia under a bit of pressure. South Africa leading the first set 7-3.
You mentioned at the beginning of that end, Mike, Mark Burkhoff has been playing very consistently, but 2 of his bowls were short of the jack, and probably the mistake that Australia made there was that they just didn't have anything out the back at all. And when the jack was moved on, they were very exposed.
Yeah, and give full marks to Jerry Baker. That draw bowl that he played was just a beautiful bowl. It was on the money. And they played that very intelligently, South Africa.
Now that could be a better bowl there from Berghofer, tactically, for later in the end.
It's a straight one.
Yeah, again, both leads have started this end. The 8th end very well indeed.
Hurry. Don't run. Hurry.
There's that second bowl again on this end from Mark Berghofer, which we saw on the last end, Simon, that he just left that one short. Gets the first one past, one short.
Now, while the short bowls can act as a block sometimes, you can always knock one on. Is it regarded amongst bowlers as a fairly basic sin to be short?
In all the play that we've seen here at the Commonwealth Games, I haven't seen in the games that we've done a jack rebound back up the mat, back up the rink. So, you know, that short bowl at times can come into play, but I haven't seen one in the television matches that we've done so far.
Now, by and large, the jack progresses further, either through force or through a trail, which is where these longer bowls can come into play.
Now, I don't know with Jerry clicking his fingers whether he wanted to stop or move on a couple of rolls, but again, the skip said, well, look, Mark Berghofer now has got one at the back. We probably need to sacrifice one and get one some way down there, but I think he might have liked that to have gone on another 2 or 3 feet. Casper. Mark Berghofer.
Slipping across the front. Plenty of pace on that.
Yeah, just not coming off for Aaron Sheriff at the moment. Only a youngster when he came into the Australian side, Aaron Sheriff. He's only 24 now. He's already played 57 matches for Australia.
First appearance at the Commonwealth Games. Jerry Baker's a bit of a veteran of these games, we were talking about earlier, and you can see why.
Oh, well played, Jerry.
Now, that was the point that you were making before, Simon, where that bowl now is in perfect position. The only way you can spring that jack, you would think, would be forward. And really puts enormous pressure on Aaron Sheriff. They're holding 2 and he's way off the base. He nearly stumbled off the mat, and I don't know whether we've got a replay of that, but Aaron really did stumble off the mat.
Oh, 2 good ones. This is probably the danger. Don't see it going there. Get out there.
Let's see if we can see this. And you saw the back foot, and he really did stumble off the mat. He looked away right from the outset, and that bowl really cut across, and was lucky to be in the ring.
Jerry Baker taking plenty of the carpet here.
You got to try and get them both, mate. You get the kill out here. Good.
Big drive. That's made a dent in the ditch at the back.
And you would think would have wrapped up the first set for South Africa. but at least puts them in a position where they can't be beaten, just depending on where this bowl finishes. Now, if this bowl sits there, that's the first set done and dusted.
Yeah, great end for South Africa. Both players performing well there, particularly Jerry Baker with his last 2 bowls. 3 for South Africa takes them on to 10, and that is the set. There's a maximum of 6 shots that can be won in any end, and so the final end is a formality. They're just playing for the shots in terms of the shot difference situation.
Couldn't live more than 3 minutes from real coffee.
Love those wide open spaces.
In here as well as out there. It's hard to get to. Maybe why it's the best kept secret in town.
Don't tell anyone.
The all-new Street Smart Mitsubishi ASX, built for your city life.
Love that car.
Way ahead there, and I don't think South Africa, even within these 2 games, can get anywhere near them. In actual fact, Scotland have got the next best shot differential of plus 98 compared to Australia's plus 154.
So close.
And South Africa in that first set, Simon, were the better team by plenty.
Yes, Berghoff has been fairly solid in the lead position, but Aaron Sheriff just struggling to find his range at the moment. A couple of quite wayward ones in the last end. Well under the line and too much pace.
And in deference, his opposite number, Jerry Baker, has played beautifully.
Good bowl from Mark Berghofer, just past the jack this time.
Something close there, short.
And Sean Adendall has played a very nice foil for Jerry Baker at the moment.
This isn't far away. It'll take the jack, and that's a great bowl. Nice trail on. It's got another bowl there waiting. 2 shots.
And again, you see the aspect of Mark Berghofer leaving those 2 first bowls short. Now, where the jack is exposed, you would really think the jack can only go back. So Aaron Sheriff under enormous pressure here.
Yeah, the 3 light blue bowls of Mark Berghoff as they're somewhat out of the running now. Unless they're promoted at some stage.
Yeah, Jerry Baker just going for a little bit of cover at the back.
Yep, sensible move. Still holding definite 1, South Africa. That first ball from Aaron Sheriff is pretty close. Here's his second. Similar line, just inside. Good effort. Baker might try and get rid of those 2 Sheriff bowls. It's drawing again. Just had a bit of pace on there. He could have taken his own bowl out.
Yeah, I was going to say, he nearly did the job for Aaron Sheriff. Well, that's the line Aaron will want to be taking. And I think it's wide.
It's just running on a bit. Too much pace.
Just seems to be rushing things at the moment, Aaron Sheriff, getting on the mat straight away, bowl gone.
Very quick player, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think Jerry wanted to get anywhere near the head and disturb that.
Looks like just 1-2.
And in the scheme of things, it wasn't an important end. The first set was done and dusted. Australia had no chance of reeling in South Africa. And it's been a comprehensive first set to South Africa. They've outplayed the Australians. They lead and win the first set 11-3.
Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look 'em over with care. About some you'll say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down a not-so-good street. And you may not find any you want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. The National Bank, for the places you'll go.
2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, the sort of average length. Concentration is an issue. Just keeping the focus. It's hard enough for us up here. Well, I speak for myself.
I think in an Australian term, yes, everyone at times goes walkabout. And that's fair to say, but you're absolutely right that the fact of being able to maintain it, and it's such a mental game as well as the physical aspects of being able to deliver the bowl perfectly every time. Little chinks in the armour appear every now and then.
Lovely bowl from Berghofer.
Now, better end from Mark Berghofer. He's on the jack and he's got two slightly at the back. He's got the two best backwoods.
Go for you. Just beat your own ball. Finish behind you, Sean. Are you playing to turn that ball? If you drift and you get here, it's very good. Gives me a shot.
Any wonderful instructions there from Jerry Baker. Mightn't have been exactly what he wanted, but wasn't too far off it.
Given that Berghofer's bowl is hard up against the jack, is it not a little surprising that he just didn't put one round the back there?
Well, I think he was trying to roll that bowl over and then for the bowl to come on and settle at the back. He definitely wanted it behind. He didn't want it a long way behind. But you heard Jerry Baker saying, I just want you to roll it over so you can give me a shot.
Well done, Omar.
Well, that's two. I think we've just picked up Aaron Sheriff's nickname, Omar. Omar Sharif.
You can just give Berghofer's bowl on the jack a little nudge. There's a Admiral's always just down the side here.
well.
Yeah, for the first time, Australia are in a position to apply a little bit of pressure to South Africa. This is a crucial bowl from Aaron Sheriff too. If he can get another one in the head or just throw that one behind to throw some doubt into, and which he's doing, into Jerry Baker's mind. Now, if Jerry Baker springs the jack too much, he could very well give Australia the shot. But the way the jack is lying with the blue bowl suggests that it may very well cannon into the South African bowl.
So it wants to be just a gentle nudge, ideally. This is, again, falling away, and...
well, all that's done is give South Africa the best backwood. And Jerry Baker will have one more crack at it. So Aaron now trying to put another one in the head. Needs to rest against his own bowl or closer.
Have a look, Jerry.
Yeah, probably not a counter.
Baker is going to walk up to the head. Have a look at this.
Oh, you're the girl.
Very good. Very good.
As we said, all of a sudden, South Africa, there is a good shot of being able to see what's behind. Now, there's one Australian bowl and basically 4 South African bowls. And those 2 bowls around the jack are Australian bowls. He's probably going to try and come in on the left-hand side of that blue bowl, just with a little bit, but not too much weight. And it's a reasonable target with those 2 Australian bowls. And if he can do that, he might spring the jack to South Africa and they might hold a couple. Yeah, I think that's too wide.
So that's 2 to Australia at the outset of the second set. Australia won that end, but they've given South Africa the mat this time. It's been quite a familiar scenario in this game. The winning team hands the mat to the opposition, who delivers the jack. The advantage to the winning team of the previous end being that they will get the final bowl of the next end.
That might give Australia a little bit of confidence for this second set. They were outplayed in the first set.
I thought Jerry Baker might have got a bit closer with that last bowl. He'd been playing well enough earlier to have probably converted that shot.
I think we put the curse on him, the commentator's curse. We'd actually said that he'd been playing extremely well, and but again, at the end of a set, you've played very well in that first set. You just relax momentarily, and if you relax too long, the game can get away from you. I'm certainly not saying that this match is getting away from South Africa. They're right in the box seat to win this, but just that moment of just taking your eye off the bowl, so to speak. But early days. His lead is playing great bowls.
Pretty good.
which is unreal.
Yeah, good bowling from Mark Berghofer. Probably doesn't quite hold the shot, but all just past the jack. Provides a useful rear guard there.
It does give Australia the advantage again if Aaron, depending on what happens to Jerry Baker's bowl, of course, if he could turn that black bowl out that was at the head, Australia would be holding the 3. But this man might have something to say about the mix of this end. He's not too far away. He might be just cutting across the face a little bit.
Weight's pretty good.
Yeah, just rolling that one forward might cut one, if not 2 of the Australian bowls out.
Keep running, mate. 2 feet.
It's a big one out.
Not happy with that. Came up short.
Jerry. Turn our bowls or you drift to the short bowl. Jack's also good here. Big chance.
Just trying to turn his own over, but he's going to go through the middle. He's going to pick up the jack. No, he's not. But he's rolled that Australian bowl out, which probably was shot bowl, and you would think now that South Africa are probably shot bowl.
Sheriff quickly onto the mat again. Is this coming up short as well?
Yep. Well, they're having a look at it. There's not much in it. Probably that black bulb may be shot, but we have been wrong more times than we've been right, I think.
And it's important information, isn't it, as he steps up to play the shot. If he could be sure that they had the that's going to change the way he thinks about the whole delivery, isn't it? As it is, he probably doesn't know. But if they were measuring after every bowl, it would slow things down a bit, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I think that's the beauty of it, where you're thinking that, well, that's taken any guesswork out of it. You would think.
No, now Mark Berghofer with the rudimentary measure.
It's got a search under yours, mate.
Yeah, that's the bowl. He wants to get on it and be able to those two blue bowls. I think he's going to be wide. He's going to have to promote his own. I think that's the only scenario that he can hope for, and it's not going to be enough. Now there will be a measure.
Hold. Hold.
That's Berghofer's Australian bowl there. With the red disc. Sean Adnall's. And now across to Jerry Baker's. That's not in it. And that is 1 to South Africa. And that is 2-1 after 2 ends of the second set.
netball as much as we do. I guess that's why they're the elite sponsor of the Silver Fern.
Australians in here. Berghofer has thrown down a medium to long jack. And has drawn right next to it.
Good start here, Sean. You might you touch it and sit the ball.
Yeah, another good bowl. This time just round the back. Very strong position.
Weight's good.
It's just drifts by. Get used to seeing these bowlers get it up close to the jack as Mark Berghofer has done here. And like so many sports, the best players, they just seem to make it look easy. But believe you me, it's not easy to do what Berghofer's doing here. Look, there's another one right up to the jack. Too close, one out the back.
He's really found his range, Mark Berghofer. Here it is again. Just lovely bowls, and he's been very, very consistent right throughout this match. Now, a little bit of on weight from Sean Adenall. That's going to miss everything.
He's got one out the back there, so if the jack is sprung, there is one out the back for South Africa, deeper, closer to the ditch. Though it looks as though the jack would probably just, if it was sprung, would just go into Berghofer's bowl nearest to the camera there.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Aaron on some occasion might put one at the back, and I think he's done that straight away. He just wants to rest one at the back. Yeah, he's got to provide some cover there. Jerry Baker with weight.
He's going to make a connection for sure. Connection with two of Berghofer's bowls and ends up resting against the jack.
That's just amazing. He's knocked out both of Berghofer's bowls and rest the jack. How good is that? Great bowling from Jerry Baker. All of a sudden you're 3 up. Now you're 1 down. Bowl split, and Aaron now has really got to just try and move that Jerry Baker bowl.
Well, if he can, Australia have got a couple. They've got the light blue Berghofer, that's under the line.
It's under the line. It just died on its run a little bit as far as pace is concerned. Just needed a little bit more pace, but he'll have one more attempt. Jerry Baker's got 2. And what he's trying to do here is get around the back, match that bowl of Aaron Sheriff, which is just in front of Sean Adenall. He's a little bit wider than he would have liked, and
not far enough, perhaps. Sheriff
having a drive.
A real drive at this, on target. Springs the jack out the rink.
Now, Australia will hold shot here. It will be respotted. And that's Aaron Sheriff's bowl there. And what the players will actually do is, we're just having a look at the replay, and then if we can go back to that other shot, Aaron Sheriff, the reaction there, it was a great bowl. It was right on. Just in front of that black bowl on the left, you can see the little spot mark. And also out the right, there was a spot mark where the jack's been placed. So bowlers will actually bowl when they're looking for length to those marks. Big bowl here for Jerry Baker.
That's, unless he gets a ricochet, he has. Ooh. So that is going to be one to Australia as a result of that successful drive from Aaron Sheriff, which took the jack hard into the ditch. The jack was respotted, and when it was respotted, Australia had the shot. And again, the winning team from the last end decides to put the opponent in.
Absorbing battle so far between Australia and South Africa. All four players have played brilliantly at times. There's been a couple of loose deliveries here and there, but it's quite a high quality men's pairs match. These are the two teams that are 1 and 2 respectively in Section A.
Beat your ball.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, nice bowl again from Short Adnell. 2 at the back.
This is a good bowl.
What a shot, buddy.
Terrific.
Well played. Enjoy the shot, mate. Where you want? Up to you, mate.
Oh, rather disappointing final bowl from Berghofer.
Yeah, at times, Simon, we've been guilty of giving them a rap, and then all of a sudden they fall in a hole for a couple of shots. The cheering that you can hear through our sound effect mics is the main stadium, the athletics program happening.
That's all right, you want me?
Oh, he's done it again. Just rolled over.
Try and your forehand maybe come up for hours, getting clean.
Burkhofer suggesting from the forehand. The Sheriff, has he taken enough carpet?
No.
No, he hasn't.
Too narrow. Well, he's got a wick, but it's just run past Adnall's bowl anyway, so I think South Africa holding shot at the moment.
Yeah, it could be just. Oh, this could make it beyond any dispute, and it drops, and that's another fine bowl from Jerry Baker.
He's just bowling superbly. Aaron Sheriff having a crack at it. Now, this will be interesting. I think that when the jack is respotted here, you'll find that South Africa may be holding two. Those two black bowls, you can see, there's Jerry Baker saying, what happens now? Now, yep, he's indicated that South Africa are holding two. And this will just come down to these two bowls and being able to draw the shot. Oh, this is very, very good bowling, but it's given Aaron Sheriff a look in. Doesn't waste any time whatsoever.
Which, considering he's got a new target to aim at, surely a bit surprising. But let's see how he gets on.
He's going to run out of legs, is he? Or is he just going to get in front? No.
So that's going to be one there for South Africa. So Berghofer's first bowl. We've seen a couple of drives from Aaron Sheriff in the last couple of ends, which have sent the jack spinning into the ditch. And the respotting of the jack has proved a crucial turning point in the end.
Yeah, it's aided both South Africa and Australia in respective ends. It does take out the aspect of the really good drivers going back to the days and the likes of Rob Perella. The game would go on forever and ever and ever, because going back a little while, once the jack was out of play, then they replayed the end. So coming into set bowl and being able to have a respot, and there's a good bowl from Mark Berghofer too, having a respot, and everyone agrees with it and understands it, it takes out that aspect of games being prolonged forever.
So at what sort of stage was the respot introduced, would you say?
I'm not 100% certain, you know, what year it came into play, but it's been thereabouts now for a little while. Adnall is just playing great lawn bowls. He's giving his skipper every opportunity. But it's everyone's agreed to it and had a fair bit to do with the professional ranks, the Professional Lawn Bowls Association, of trying to quicken the game up without disadvantaging anyone, obviously for television and for spectators too. The spectators don't want to be there for 4.5, 5 hours watching a match. Hence the tie-break in tennis, to be able to cut down sets going to 21-19 or 81-79 or whatever it was at Wimbledon this year. 77 or something. Or 71.
Yeah, that was fairly unprecedented. Of course, in the final set, a 5-setter, there is no tie-break.
Short Animal has given South Africa 3.
Quite interesting.
Maybe that blue bowl, sorry Simon, maybe that blue bowl cuts out 1, but gee, it's close to 3.
I was just going to say, it's been very interesting observing the game, and obviously something that the bowls authorities will care a great deal about, how they can make the game best suited for television to attract a new audience to the sport. And I do think there are a number of ways in which it can be improved. And we've talked a lot about the colour of the bowls, making it easier to follow the game. Sometimes when there's a respot of the jack, things happen very quickly indeed. Almost too quick for maybe the viewer to keep up with. Maybe if there's some mechanism in which they could just slow it down so that it could be more readily understood. There was an occasion last night in a game when the jack would have been respotted on the final bowl of the end. Because it was the final bowl, they actually didn't bother to put the jack back down on the respot. And to the uninitiated viewer, that would have been very confusing.
This is going to have to work really quickly and late for Aaron Sheriff.
It was trying.
Wasn't too bad, but South Africa still hold a couple. There it is. 3 to South Africa. Now, Australia have got all the best backwoods, and I think what you're having a look at now is that Jerry Baker's got 2 bowls to go, and he might want to try and put 1 at the back here. No, he's going to try and draw another one. No, I was right in the first place. You just wanted to get that one around, and that's a very, very good bowl because Australia had those 4 blue bowls there as the counters, or if the jack had to come back. Aaron Sheriff trying to draw this. This is his 3rd attempt at trying to do this. But he's cut 2 out at this stage. He's just taken that first bowl out. He was after the one directly below the jack, but 1 will do at this stage.
Jerry Baker is walking up to the head. He's got a chance here. This very tight second set.
I think what we'll do, if we can hold that shot there, and he kind of indicated, if he can play onto that blue bowl just in front of his right foot to take Aaron Sheriff's bowl out there, they'd hold at least 2, and if his bowl came to rest, they could hold 3.
It'll also work, Dave. You know what I think? Okay.
I think he really was saying there, do you know what I think? It's your decision.
Nice, grimacing. That was not one of his Sunday bests. So it's just 1 to South Africa, but it ties the scores.
Here's a great Commonwealth Games competition from Mitsubishi. And there's 2 great chances to win one of these new Mitsubishi ASXs.
You can get online and throw the shot put.
Match the distance off my final throw and you win the draw to win.
Or you could find a hidden key for another chance to win. Or you could do both. Just visit asxshottowin.co.nz. And good luck.
There was just a little bit of uncertainty going on and maybe a lack of commitment to the shot.
Yeah, Leeds are geniuses at doing that.
You're the skip.
Plenty of suggestions, but the common phrase is, up to you. This is a team game, but we'll do it my way.
Yeah, there's a quote from the great football manager Brian Clough. Whenever he would have a discussion with a player or an argument, and he'd all say, we'd discuss it for 20 minutes and then decide I was right.
Fading away. Fading away. Yeah, Richie's secretary. Fading away. And he's a has-been. He's a has-been. Beautiful bowl from Adnall. Look at that perfect line just behind the jack. Very tense battle, this men's pairs. 1v2. Not happy with it.
Yeah. Just beat your own ball for another.
Sean Adnall could not have bowled those three bowls better. A cluster at the back. Look at that. That is precision bowling from the lead. Australia's bowls are a little bit more scattered, but again, it gives Aaron Sheriff an opportunity to be able to bring the jack back to those blue bowls.
If he just draws to the front of that group of three like that. Oh,
yeah, I think it's just rolled over Sean Adnall, so South Africa might be shot. A little bit stiff there from Aaron Sheriff. It was a much better bowl though. Yeah, toss up, isn't it? Not much. Struck match between them.
Australia well represented to the right of the jack. See those two Berghofer bowls there, our left. So another one that side.
Well, a little bit of a fortunate wick there for Jerry Baker. He's got the shot bowl. And probably good advice there from Mark Berghofer saying, look, I think we're 2 down here. And I think that's going to be narrow.
It is.
Well, this could be a very big end for South Africa. They've got one definitely.
Australia are disputing at the top of the group there, the South African bowl on the left, red disc on the right, Australia. Little nudge on the Australian bowl could improve the situation for South Africa. Jerry Baker on the forehand. Needs to come in, needs to turn.
On the way he's been playing, he'll get a wick off this and set shot, but it's just going to slip through. So we'll wait for the judges here. I think they'll have a measure on those other two.
That's the Australian bowl.
Two.
There we are. 2 to the Reds, 2 to South Africa, 5-3. So South Africa have now won the last 3 ends here.
They won 7 of the 9 ends in the first set, and they've won 4 of the 6 ends here in the second set. They've varied their tactics, and Australia now are going for a tactical ploy of having a short end, and this really is the first short end that we've seen in the match.
Short of that, long way short there.
And they're just having a look. Gary Berghofer was having a look at it. The idea here is from the mat to the jack has got to be 23 metres. If it's any shorter than that, the jack will go back. South Africa will roll it to whatever length they want to roll it at, and then Australia would be first bowl. So that's what they were just checking there. Normally they would ask for an umpire. If they really wanted to dispute it, they'll ask the umpire to come out and measure it with a tape measure. Just short again, Mark Berghofer. So floating in and out of the match. Gee, that's a wide spread.
There's a top of the table battle in Section A. In Section B, the top 2 teams are Malaysia and England, and they're currently playing on rink number 1. And in that match, Malaysia won the first set, and it's 6-all in the second set.
Beautiful reply from Mark Berghofer. It's going to be a bit narrow this time, but still past the jack. Three very important bowls here for Aaron and Sheriff in the context of this match. They've dropped the first set and they're down 2 shots in the second. They need to win this to force a tie break. Draw won't be good enough. It's a fair start. Here it is, just coming around the 2 blue bowls of Mark Berghofer to rest shot. Great shot, Aaron Sheriff. He's having a word to his coach, Rex Johnston, who's got Diet Coke in his stubby holder, and it'll be the only time that Diet Coke has been in the stubby holder.
We haven't. I think I get
Not
what
that I'm throwing dispersions on, Rex.
I think we all understand what you're getting at. There is a phrase we have in England for a man like that.
Well, he's taken 1 out. So Australia holding 1. There was a... Simon's just written me a note on the paper, which I will not share with you.
Wow.
He doesn't want to turn this over. Oh, 2 beautiful bowls from Aaron Sheriff. Great bowls, but what he's effectively done at the same time is created. When you see this sit and the 2 bowls come to rest, there's a little bit of a gap there, and Jerry Baker will have the chance to be able to draw that shot through the gap to take it back to his own bowl. He's not far away. He's taken Aaron Sheriff's bowl out, but now he's in the absolute box seat here. He's got 2 bowls behind. Aaron Sheriff's got 1 remaining. If Aaron doesn't get into that head there and rest, this could be a real march for South Africa in being able to go a long way to wrapping up this second set. Crucial bowl for Aaron Sheriff. It needs to keep travelling. It needs to keep travelling.
It's very good.
And has provided a little bit of cover. Now, Jerry Baker, once we go back to that shot, can probably draw around those 2 blue bowls and just get a kiss on the jack to be able to take it back to those 2 or 3 South African bowls. While Aaron Sheriff was a big delivery, this is equally important for South Africa. He's going to hit that front bowl. Oh, and he's done it. Oh, no, it's gone through. I think Australia will grab the 1 shot. Fair attempt, but a good result for Australia. A little bit of disappointment there for South Africa, but again, it was a very good delivery. That Mark Berghofer bowl, gee, it nearly gave South Africa the shot, didn't it? Great attempt from Jerry Baker. (5-4), South Africa lead in the second set.
Very tight, relatively low scoring set.
Back door.
Hey, good meter, pal.
Sean Adendall's second bowl of this 8th end.
Well done. Very good.
South African flag fluttering away in this very light breeze here at the JN Sports Complex. And at the moment, they're in the lead. The penultimate end of this second set.
Turn the jacks, very good. Run, run.
This ball just fell over.
Just short.
You draw it, Mark.
Never quite getting there.
Once again, some work to do for the two skips. Aaron Sheriff, Jerry Baker.
Youngish team, the two Australians. Both, well, it looks like Mark Berghoff, he's 25, 24, Aaron Sheriff.
Now, Aaron Sheriff will play the forehand, just trying to play on to the bowl of Mark Berghoff.
And he does so, and a little run through. Sean Adnall trying to work out.
And what that... Well, it's just rolled over. Aaron Sheriff now will... Yeah, gee, it's tight.
Very
really
congested.
Tight. What Aaron Sheriff can do, if we hold that shot once we get rid of the target there, the black bowl just about the 10 or 11 o'clock mark, he can probably play on that and turn that blue bowl over.
That's what he's trying by the look of things. There's going to be some sort of contact.
He'll have one more attempt. I think now there is a fair target presents itself for Jerry Baker, and he's been drawing very, very well. Having a look at the back, South Africa have two bowls. If we can just go back a little bit, those two bowls there in the centre of your screen below the jack are South African bowls. Now, if Jerry Baker can come through the gap, pick up the jack, run it back there, South Africa could hold three, but he doesn't want to squirt it out here to that blue bowl down here at about the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. Oh, that's just sensational bowling.
That takes the shot. Not the first time Jerry Baker has done that.
Look at this. Kisses off the Aaron Sheriff bowl, bang shot bowl.
Now using the Sheriff bowl.
He was reasonably happy with that, Jerry Baker.
Yes, he's fairly undemonstrative, but delighted with that.
There's a couple of options for Aaron Sheriff here. If he drives hard at this and the jack spews out of the rink to the left-hand side as he looks at it, then the respot would advantage Australia, but he's going to go the other way, trying to draw off the bowl of Jerry Baker, and I don't think he's done it. He's missed. He throws his hands in the air. Well, that was a great bowl from Jerry Baker. A real saver for South Africa.
Certainly was. And that takes them on to 6 here. In the second set, 6-4, with just one end left to play. So Australia need a really good end. They need to make 3 shots here to take the match into the tie-break, having lost the first set.
And you don't know where it's going to come from. Australia, their maximum score they've got in any end so far is a 2. They got a 2 in the third end of the first set. They got a 2 to start this set, and that's been it. South Africa have got a couple of 3s and a 2. So Australia are really going to have to work hard in this last end of this set.
Oh, superb opener from Mark Berghofer. It's been very steady and consistent in the lead position.
Yeah, he's played very well for most of the match.
Both South Africans have had good games, haven't they? Particularly Jerry Baker.
Yeah, Jerry Baker's been the outstanding player of the 4. There is no doubt about that. He has just drawn everything. He's played on shots from time to time. There hasn't been a thing that Jerry Baker hasn't been able to do. That's a handy start for Australia. As Simon said, they need 3 to keep their settle or to push it into a tie-break.
Yes, 2 shots is not enough. That would just tie the second set. And that would mean a 1.5 half win for South Africa.
Yeah, good second, well done.
Yeah, they'll just play some cover here, South Africa.
They'll just make the Aussies work for it, I guess. Another bowl that's thereabouts for Berghofer. Just pulls up a little short this time. Not sure what's second at the moment. Jerry's having a look.
Fairly close, might just 5 hours. Throw it in them.
He gave a little bit of exclamation as that one was released. He knew right from the outset that that wasn't online because he was trying to draw onto the shot bowl. But Australia have got the task now where they need to get 3. That black bowl for South Africa that you can just see from the bottom of your screen, just in front of the blue bowl, has got to be removed by Aaron Sheriff, or he's got to try and just draw the shot. So South Africa played Niue Island, who are stone motherless last in the competition after this, and Australia played the 3rd place team, Scotland. So that's a good battle. got to sit. It's got to sit, and it does. Beautiful bowl, Aaron Sheriff. But it's a little bit exposed. Here it is, just coming out. He just wanted probably a bigger wick on that Mark Berghofer bowl. That's as it stands.
Third and fourth in the table. Scotland and Canada, they've been playing this morning, and Scotland have won that match.
Well, that now puts Scotland on the same points as South Africa, but South Africa are leading this match. And you'd have to say that's one of Jerry Baker's first misses. He has hardly missed a thing all day.
So Australia looking for 3 shots here. Berghofer's bowl resting up against the jack.
He'll have another 2 attempts. Australia trying to force this into a tie-break to remain undefeated in the competition.
That's a great bowl from Aaron Sheriff there.
Here it is, just coming in, just disturbed the jack slightly. Now Jerry Baker is coming down to have a look at this.
With their line abreast, those Australian bowls, it does create quite a big target for Baker. He must make contact.
Well, you would think with 4 bowls sitting there that he's got to hit something.
Yep.
All he's got to do is try and clear out 3, if he can, or spring the jack somewhere.
Yeah, if he springs the jack anywhere, really, Australia will be hard pushed to get the 3 shots they need. He will have the last bowl as well.
He's eyeing those 2 back bowls of his. He's right on it.
Good line. Well,
yep.
He's certainly saved 1 or 2. They may even have shot.
Now, Aaron Sheriff has got to clear that black bowl out. Forehand probably, just to roll that out. But how does he maintain enough weight on it to be able to tip that out? It can come the backhand. It's probably the better... from where we look at it, that overhead pitch, there is a better shot of it. You'd have to get around that jack. Now, that jack is probably only 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches in front of the black bowl. So the backhand side, there may be enough room to come around there. It's a very difficult shot either hand. That's probably the better shot, the forehand side.
Better wait on this.
Yeah, that's just going to run through. Turned over shot, but that's not good enough for Australia. And they're shaking hands. And Jerry Baker won't play that last bowl.
And in the end, that was just 1 shot to Australia. There was no need for Baker to play his bowl because it wasn't going to be enough for the Aussies. And they lose the set 6-5. and a shake of the hand.
Things are hotting up at Dick Smith. We've got this HP Pavilion notebook for a crazy low $998 and the Logitech notebook kit valued at $199, just $1 with this notebook purchase. Hurry for a limited time only. Dick Smith, talk to the Techsperts.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed there, and I think Aaron Sheriff on screen there right now would probably be a little bit disappointed, but there have got to be sections within the confines of sectional play where you're not at your absolute best, and I think that was the case today. I think Aaron was outplayed by his opposite number in Jerry Baker. And psychological advantage to South Africa, given that. Here's the shaking hands to be able to start the game. There was Jerry Baker just rolling Sean Adenall's bowl up, and there was a shot bowl there. Again, there was Aaron Sheriff clearing a couple out, but it left South Africa with 3 shots. There were certain sections of the match where he just couldn't get on the pace, and here's Jerry Baker, who just drew everything within an inch of his life, and then if he needed to place him on pace, he was able to do that too, and really frustrate the Australians. There was a clear out there. That was a better shot from Aaron Sheriff, leaving a couple there. That sprung out and gave Australia a shot as well. So driving Aaron Sheriff wasn't too bad, and on occasions drew very well too, but I think he was outplayed by his opposite number in Jerry Baker on most scenarios today. There it is. There was another example of Jerry Baker being able to just frustrate the Australians, and that was the penultimate end of the second set. And again, that was the last bowl of the second last bowl of the match. Aaron Sheriff wasn't able to reply, and they shook hands. So a comprehensive victory in the end, 11-3, 6-5 to South Africa. I think Sean Adenall did everything in his power to be able to set a platform by Jerry Baker, and Mark Burkhofer played very well too.
One can never know who is plotting violence, can one?
Or when they may commit the act.
Sunday on Spartacus Blood and Sand.
You do not take lead here. You follow.
I will show you otherwise.
Are you a blessing to us?
To some, to others, a curse.
Please me, and the rewards will be substantial.
You have earned a glorious death, and will die at the hands of a gladiator.
Spartacus Blood and Sand, 9:30 Sunday on The Box.
Hey guys, here's a few things that we're working on at training. You boys ready?
Yep, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, camera's rolling.
Let's lose it.
Have a peek at this. Ball. That's 1. That's 2. Check this out.
Woo, money ball.
On the field, I like to be perfect. Range. Yep.
Yeah, boy. No looker.
Easy.
Woo, shot siege. As an All Black, sometimes I got a sense where the passes are coming from. Yeah, pity. Check this out. Yeah. 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 Not bad, eh?
Clean catch, guys.
400 metres individual medley. Well, New Zealand's Natalie Wiggismar is in this. And also Samantha Hamill. Does she swim in this? Oh, yes, she is. She's going to be there. So Hamill, we saw really work hard on the fly alongside Jessica Schipper earlier, not that long ago. Recovery rate will be good. She's a tiny swimmer, Samantha Hamill. Kerry-Ann Payne, quite a tall athlete. We'll see them come around towards the blocks now. Looking forward to this. No one in lane 2. That's good news for those wanting to qualify. That's Katie Goldman out. Wiggismar in lane 5.
I spoke to her coach. She's not really well, Katie. She didn't swim a very good at 400, and they're getting some blood tests done, seeing if there's anything really wrong with her. But Samantha Hamill's already well warmed up from her 200 fly, Wiggismar. This is an event with 2 heats where they won't go max in the heats. They'll swim conservatively. They'll make sure that they do something that's going to be in there tonight. So they'll either hit the fly leg or the back or the breaststroke, work on their turns and their transitions to make sure that they're gaining knowledge for tonight's final.
Well, Wiggismar is a little bit like Danielle Bell in that she emerged from being a very good age group swimmer to go to the World Youth Championships, where she won a gold medal in backstroke. That was 4 years ago. And since then, she's developed into a fine medley swimmer, the best in the country and one of the best in the Commonwealth, with a strong butterfly, which lines her up alongside Hamill as they come to the first turn. 100 gone.
She's out in 103 and looking comfortable, looking strong and comfortable. She did a minute in the 100 fly, so she's within, you know, touch with her 100 fly, but not so fast that she won't be able to go in the backstroke. Backstroke is a major leg for Natalie. She's an outstanding backstroker, and she'll be